Hello and welcome to this week's Monday evening conversation. My name is Annika and I'm the founder here at Mummy Made This, a company I founded back in 2020. Our mission is to make parents' lives that little bit easier by sharing things that inspire creative play for children, but for the parents to share things that make parenting that little bit easier. And as part of that, I'm doing this 15-minute video every Monday evening now at 8 o'clock on YouTube or Facebook. And I share with you parenting tips and tricks and hacks and books I've read and things I've done that have worked or haven't worked in my family to help you as a parent and to also create a community of like-minded parents that are supportive and that share the good, the bad, and the ugly of parenting, because it's not easy and no one teaches you how to do it. And it's also obviously one of the most rewarding things you do. But the good days and not so good days, right? So that's what this Monday evening conversation is all about. We've had a bit of a break over the Easter holidays, and actually it's been, I think, 4 weeks now. So this is the first session back after the Easter holiday break. I hope you had a wonderful, relaxing time away, and you are all fired up for the term to come. Welcome back, either way. So today's session is all about love languages. It's a book I read a while back. A friend of mine recommended it to me, and the concept of this really struck a nerve with me, and as I want to say, transformed the way I understand my kids and my husband as well, and how I show them that I appreciate and love them, and how they can show me as well. And I think the bit that surprised me most about the book, so the premise of it is that everybody communicates how they love and appreciate others in different ways, and everybody hears how other people are communicating that to them in different ways as well. I never really thought there would be that much difference. I thought, well, the way if I give my kids a hug, or if I do something nice for them, or if I listen to them, or that's all ways of showing my love, and it would all register the same way with them. But actually, it turns out every person is slightly different, and the way or how deeply showing that love registers with individual differs depending on what matters most to them. So I'll give you an example. The other day, my husband brought me a cup of tea in bed, which is wonderful. I acknowledged it, and I thought it was a wonderful thing to do. And I saw that it was his way of doing something nice for me and showing me that he loves me. But if I'm honest, I was also quite preoccupied, thinking, oh, what I've got to do this weekend, and we're busy. And so it registered, but it didn't register as deeply as it could have, maybe, or as he thought it would have, maybe. Whereas, interestingly, if he had spent time without that cup of tea, just coming and sitting with me for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and giving me his undivided attention, and talking through, say, some of the stuff that we've got to do that weekend, that would have really registered with me, and that would have made me feel quite deeply heard and seen and loved. And the reason for that is, turns out, it's these love languages. So that the way I feel most loved is when people give me their undivided attention and spend that quality time with me. Whereas the way my husband shows love, and the way he also feels love, is by doing things for people. So he loves cooking, so he'll do that for people, and he absolutely adores doing that. He will do things around the house, cups of tea, unloading dishwashers and things, because that is his way of showing that he appreciates and cares for others. But it's also, when you do those things for him, that registers really deeply for him, that he feels very, very loved and taken care of. And when I do those things for him, whereas for me, it's okay, but it's not the thing that strikes the chord the most, if that makes sense. So the lesson there for me was that if I know that the way he feels most loved, I can do those things for him, and realize that will fill his cup up, the quickest and the most in the most effective way. And equally, the way he shows me love, I mean, it's good to show people love in all sorts of different ways, but acknowledging the one or two ways that that person really is heard and seen and feels loved matters a lot, because you can fill that person's bucket up really effectively as well. And the end result is that if you do that for your kids as well, and you understand and how if you you understand how they feel loved most, the result is that yeah, everybody feels seen and heard much more effectively, and all around I think you just feel just more loved. Anyway, that's the premise of the book, and that's what I've tried with my kids, and what I want to, and my husband as well. So I want to do that. What I want to do today is just share with you the 5 different love languages, and then I want to next week talk about some more practical things in terms of what I've done to figure out what the love languages are for each of my children and my husband, and then examples and practical things that are really small things that you can build into your day to day to yeah, make those people that matter most to you feel loved, and see what those results are. That's what I want to share if I've got time next week or maybe the week after, what those results are in terms of the difference that's made for us as a family doing this. So the 5 love languages are in their speak, I guess. Number 1 is physical touch. So examples of this are hugs and kisses, and that's the most common way to to show that love is, yeah, physical, even roughhousing, like anything to do with, or touching your child like gently on the back to just give them a little bit of encouragement, on their shoulder, to let them know that you're there. Or you can, for a smaller child, it would be sitting with them at bedtime and having them on your lap and giving them that cuddle and reading that story to them at bedtime. Or for babies, I guess it would be like throwing them in the air and catching them. Anything to do with physically playing and being around your children falls under the category of showing people that you love them through physical touch. Does that make sense? Words of affirmation is the second one. So there's all about that's all about words of encouragement or praise. So like examples would be, well done, I think you played really well today, or you did a great job helping me in the garden today, thank you for that. Or things like, I think you're an amazing, kind, caring person. So words of endearment as well. These ways of communicating love with our children show them that we care, but it also helps them build an inner sense of worth and security, and it builds their self-esteem as well. When you do that, it needs to be, or it's most effective, I guess, if you focus in on a specific example or some specific that they've done in that moment in time, like with any feedback, I guess. So yeah, that's what words of affirmation means and is all about in terms of the love language. Quality time is the example I just gave you. So quality time is one of my love languages. So that is when you give somebody your absolutely undivided attention. No phones, no distractions, no oh, hang on a minute, I'm listening, but let me just fill the dishwasher while I'm doing that. So it's your undivided attention that really makes that person feel loved. And it could be doing anything together. It could be talking, it could just be doing something together. And it's one-on-one as well. So obviously you can give that quality time as a group, and as a family you can roughhouse and play, and that's a combination, I guess, of physical touch and quality time. But what I mean here is when you give that individual child that quality time, that's what will really very quickly fill that child's bucket up. So I know it's not easy, especially if you have more than one child, to find that time with each child, but I have found it invaluable. And when I do that, so I think I'll get onto this next week, obviously, but I think Joshua, my oldest, one of his love languages is quality time. And when I make the effort, it doesn't have to be long, but when I spend time just with him, whether it's just a quick game of football in the garden, or we pop out to the shops and go and buy some sweets, or I don't know, I buy myself a coffee and he gets a milkshake and we sit and just have a chat, or whatever it is. It doesn't even matter what it is, but it's that one-on-one quality time. When we do that together, I can really tell a difference. I feel he feels really connected to me and I feel that to him, I guess because we have that same love language. Yeah, it really fills the cup. So it's all about that one-on-one time, positive eye contact, sharing thoughts, feelings, but also just being with each other. The fourth one, love language, is all about gifts. So that, I guess, is an easier one to understand. Maybe it's giving people presents and receiving presents. That is a strong way to show love in our culture. But it doesn't actually have to be anything bought. It can be just treasures. So you'll notice maybe in your children, and one of my children, my daughter often does that, they will pick up little twigs and sticks and stones along the way, or feather that she might have found, and just give it to me. So it doesn't have to be anything bought, or when they come home from school, they've drawn you a picture, or yeah, it just means that they're giving you something because they thought of you, and they're giving you something unconditionally. Yeah, that is one way of showing your love, and that would fall under gifts. And then the final one, the fifth love language, is, they call it acts of service in this book, but that would be like doing things for people, I guess. And the example was that my husband brought me a cup of tea in bed, so that would be one example, or unloading or loading the dishwasher, or cooking for others, as I said, or in example, in terms of the kids doing stuff, they would maybe set the table, or say, "Oh, that's okay, Mum. You've left your phone upstairs. I'll go and get it for you." Or, yeah, that is an example of that. And I guess the one thing I wanted to add to finish off the example that I gave at the beginning, equally, if I had said to my husband, or when I say, and I've learned this over the past years, I guess, ever since I've read this book, when I say to him, "I'm here for you, tell me all about it, I want to listen to you, I'm giving you my undivided attention," because that's the way you can fill my bucket. When I do that for him, it registers, and he'll go, "Oh yeah, thank you. It's great to know that you're there for me. It's good." But I've sometimes even been a bit disappointed that he's not been that bothered, because obviously that's something that deeply means a lot to me, but not so much to him, because it's not his primary way of showing that love, or being seen and heard. So yeah, it's another example of how we should still offer all these different ways to show love, but when we realize that it's not landing the way we want it to, and then we might get disappointed by that, the reason is because that's not necessarily the primary way that person communicates how they love and communicates how they appreciate others around them, if that makes sense. And it is no different with your children. And as I say, I realized this with my three, and I've also realized that all three are different in the way they communicate love. As I said, I think Joshua is much more around, he likes spending that quality time with me and having that undivided attention. Maybe it's because he's the first child and he used to have that, and then when his siblings came along, he doesn't. I don't know. He doesn't as much, certainly. My middle one is very much about giving me little gifts of gratitude and appreciation. My youngest, I'm not sure yet. I will investigate further over the coming week and see what I come up with by the time it's the next Monday evening conversation next week. Yeah, that's really all I wanted to share today, is just to give you some food for thought, share with you this book that I've read, and give you a quick summary of what the 5 love languages are and what they mean. And then next week, what I want to do is share with you how I put that knowledge into practice in my home, and share with you the difference that has made in our home, and why it's made the difference, I guess. That's it for today. If you would like to receive the blog, because after every Monday night conversation, I write it up as a blog and share that on a Wednesday evening from around 9 o'clock. If you want to receive my blog, you can either go to my website at www.mummymadethis.co.uk, or you can go get the direct link at www.mummymadethis.co.uk/mailing list, and then you will be added to that mailing list and you will receive a weekly email with the latest blog posts. As you know, each week I cover topics that really matter to you and connect with you, and I try to do that by sharing stories, our trials and tribulations, any insights, lessons learned, book reviews, any topics that you might have requested, and things that I've tried as a mum of my 3 children that I have found helpful. So I'd love your comments as we go to, and please share any topics and any topic suggestions that you might have that you want to hear more about. And you can do that by simply emailing me at annika@mummymadethis.co.uk, or you can respond to me on Instagram or Facebook at Mummy Made This. If you've missed any of the past videos and you'd like to take a look, you can go to my YouTube channel at Mummy Made This, or you join the Monday night mailing list, and that is at the link www.mummymadethis.co.uk/Monday night, and you can add yourself to the mailing list there. I hope that was helpful and food for thought for the week to come. I hope you have a wonderful week and you enjoy the rest of the bank holiday. No, actually, it is Monday night, so you will have already enjoyed the Monday night. Yeah, hope you have a fantastic week, only 4 days. So, and I will see you next week. Take care. Bye.